microphone. So hello, how's everyone doing today? Hope everybody is having a great day today. Today we have our crypto talk today. As always, we're gonna have a great show. Wait for a few more people to join in. How you doing today, Mike? How you doing today? hmm And also, please like the set that right there. Like the video as you come in. We appreciate it. Today, as always, we're going to have a good show. We're not going to talk about Facebook today because we did a impromptu deep dive Tuesday. I'll leave a link to that down in the description. I may do another impromptu about it because as the days go on, more and more information is coming out on it. More clarifying information, that is. So, yeah, give it a few more seconds before we kick this thing off. But as always, we do have some good content today. How you doing, Complex? How you doing? I'm doing good. Still cool here. It's burning up out there in LA. Let's do about 30 more seconds. Also, please remember to like the show as you come in. We always appreciate that. Excuse me, had to grab something there. All right. Mr. Benevolent, how you doing today? And okay, Complex, sure. Hold on, let me grab one thing. All right, let's get this started here. And always, if you like to come on and talk cryptos, we always extend that for you to come on. Don't There's no need to feel um, as if you don't have anything to contribute. Of course, we always like that. Come on and contribute. All right. So let's get this party started, right? First topic is Russian central bank would consider creating gold-backed cryptocurrency. Russia's central bank will consider creating a new cryptocurrency backed by gold for international settlements. That was the latest information to come from Elvira Nabulina, head of the Bank of Russia, speaking to the country's parliament, the Duma, about current plans involving cross-border finance. In principle, Nabulina said in response to a query from one politician present at the Duma's Financial Market Committee, the central bank is not opposed to creating a gold-backed cryptocurrency. This, she said, would be within the framework of international settlements between Russia and elsewhere. Nevertheless, fiat alternatives currently in use still take precedence over crypto. As far as settlements are concerned, we will consider your suggestion regarding what a cryptocurrency backed by gold would look like in this setup, she told the committee. Quote, in my view, however, it is still more important to develop settlements in national fiat currencies, end quote. Russia has had a complicated relationship with state-backed crypto. Recent years have seen various plans come and go, with the latest incarnation of the country's so-called crypto ruble set for launch this year in the form of a stablecoin. Nevertheless, it now appears the central bank itself is less than keen on a stablecoin forming a specific part of the Russian financial system. Even within the frames of its regulatory sandbox, crypto has little perspectives, according to Nabulina. We don't see a we don't see a possibility for cryptocurrency to fulfill the role of a money surrogate, and are practically not considering it within the context of the regulatory sandbox, she added. As Bitcoin has previously reported, Russia's overall attitude to cryptocurrency remains opaque despite promises of regulation to unify the landscape. Various sources continue to present different views on what cryptocurrency is and how citizens should be able to use it. While statistics point to a lively peer-to-peer exchange market for Bitcoin in particular. In April, one Kremlin economist foresaw the ineffectiveness of a gold-backed state cryptocurrency, despite the potential benefits in helping the sanctioned Russian economy increase its flow of funds. Around the same time, the same economists claimed that businesses and the elite were actively accumulating Bitcoin in huge amounts to the tune of over 80 billion. All right, so that is out of the scope of this article, but we've seen multiple countries over the past year, solid year, I would say, A, they were going to create a crypto backing their fiat, or B, create a crypto backing with gold back, such as Venezuela, such as Iran. Also said that they have Russia saying this. I don't think they understand. Hey, how you doing there, Mike?
Hey, what's going on, bro?
I'm all right. I don't think they fully understand what makes a cryptocurrency. And I don't think these officials, and I understand they're busy, state government issues. They have this new up and coming um, investment slash way to do things. It's new. So I don't think they fully understand everything. I think that what they are looking at is, hey, you have something that okay, we can digitize things, we can back it with crypto, and that's it. But there's other principles that goes into this. So I don't think this gold back crypto would work because it'll be centralized. This if something would if there ever would be a gold back cryptocurrency, it would need to be centralized, open, public, permissionless, things of that nature. If it would be a crypto, but if it's going to be permission, it can't be centralized by one country, and they're doing trade with, let's say, China, and they're telling China to buy our gold back crypto. That I don't think that would work out.
Well, that may be so, but we know that Russia, were the brains behind the petro for Venezuela, which is based off of Ethereum. So they have some knowledge and wherewithal in terms of how to get a crypto and a blockchain together. The question is, how do you make it work for the Russian oligarchs? Because the oligarchs are going to be your speed bumps and your obstacles to get this stuff established, because they don't believe in it because they're traditionalists. So could this work? It may very well work for Russian millennials, but not for the oligarchs. So there's going to be a way to actually kind of forge this in, because what's going to need to happen is all those Russian rubles need to go somewhere. And if it's going to be used to buy or invest into a gold-backed crypto, this washes the money better than than letting the value of the ruble just fall down and not go anywhere. This would actually stabilize their internal markets.
Okay. Well, I haven't heard any. I hit the cough there. I tried to stop it. I haven't heard anything else other than this.
Mm-hmm.
There has been other things that pop up that has came out of Russia concerning cryptos, and this is one of them. Excuse me, we're down the wrong way. Say again.
Russia is a very conservative nation, and they like things that they can touch and they can feel, and if they don't think that a digital a cryptocurrency and a blockchain is something that's tangible to them, then yeah, they become very the fear factor jumps out of them. But that's typical for conservative nations that have long years of steady civilization and threats of invasion and things of that nature. Remember that Russia has already been pretty much blacklisted from the Swiss system. So the amount of sanctions that are on Russia is forcing them to think in ways that are unconventional and not traditional to their way of doing business. So this might be, the beginning of a discussion that's going to go forward probably in the next year and a half, especially after Putin leaves. You'll start to see more and more discussions come into play after 2025.
That's a good point. All right, so this next one is Russia's central bank is against legalization of cryptocurrency. The head of the central bank of Russia says she does not want to legalize Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency as a payment method because of risk and volatility. Speaking to the country's parliament, the Duma, about the Bank of Russia's impact over 2018, Elvira Nabulina continued an increasingly bearish stance on cryptocurrency. We're against the legalization of cryptocurrency, especially as a means of payment. The legal magazine Bravo quoted her as saying on May 30th, and I quote, "We consider there are big risks here for those who hold cryptocurrency. It's necessary to protect citizens from risky investments." End quote. Bitcoin and many major altcoins have undergone a price transformation since the beginning of April, with BTC gain in excess of 125% in a fresh bull run. This volatility is off-putting for Bank of Russia, Nabulina said, despite the period since 2014 itself seeing the ruble devalue up to 200% against the dollar. As Bitcoin is reported, the central bank had become steadily more risk-averse on cryptocurrency in recent times. Officials sidelining rumors of a plan to create a stablecoin-backed gold. In October, Nabulina had claimed the cryptocurrency craze was coming to an end due to the ongoing bear market. Last week, she continued in a similar vein, repeating long-held arguments from Moscow about the potential role of so-called money surrogates in the Russian economy. In principle, of course, we're against cryptocurrency entering our money system, she said. Quote, "To all intents and purposes, we do not see the option for cryptocurrency to fulfill the function of money surrogates, and in the instance, especially." End quote. Um, Russia's largest state-owned bank has poured water on its future interaction with the crypto industry. At a press conference Thursday, Sberbank's Vice President Andrei Shemetov blamed the aforementioned hawkish stance of the central bank for it icing plans of its own. Quote, "We were waiting for legal framework which would allow us to trade in cryptocurrency, since at the present time the regulator views it in a negative light. We decided to halt the cryptocurrency plans," he said at a press conference. Russia's currently volatile relationship to crypto thus continues. In a separate development, a court in the Serbian city of Omsk appeared to set a surprise first this week, becoming what is being claimed as the first court in the world to recognize the validity of a trade deal inked using blockchain and smart contracts. The transaction involved Russia petroleum firm Petroleum Trading, and it's excuse me, it is evident that the current legal framework is entirely sufficient for allowing introduction of innovation on an industrial scale, but laws on cryptocurrency and blockchain are under development. General Director Maxim Dyachenko commented. Following up on this, I actually read an article which stated that Russia likes, and you hear this a lot. Russia likes blockchain, but cryptocurrency you don't know about, and you hear that a lot. A lot of also in that article, it was saying that companies wants to push blockchain technology because it is very advantageous for them in the industry that they're in. But the thing is, Russia needs to okay cryptocurrency for them to do that. So with this, you and Russia is only an example country that we have with them I'm showcasing right now. But you have a lot of countries that are pushing back on cryptocurrencies. And to me, I really understand because this thing is only 10 years old. It turned 10 years old the first part of this year. Um, it's pretty new, but as time goes on, we'll see other governments come to. We're already seeing corporations come to with the um, introduction of Facebook's Libra association, Libra coin.
Yeah, Russia is looking at it from the digital infrastructure perspective. That's something that they can actually take advantage of immediately, right? Um, but from a cryptocurrency standpoint, um, it's not really tangible for them right now unless they can actually apply it to an application. So maybe if they were looking at the oil and gas sector, they can apply cryptos to that and kind of bridge, you know, a Russian crypto to some of these other commodities that and resources that get exploited out of the ground, such as diamonds, such as other raw materials that many nations especially nations like Africa, the continent of Africa, that are bathing in wealth in. So
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
in those areas, crypto can actually help Russia, but on the ground in Russia, that doesn't really help. Now, Russia is actually pretty modernized. I would say more modernized than the United States because they don't have all the liberal issues of and bureaucracy that they have to go through. They have it's very rare in Russia for people to actually pull out cash, so everything gets paid
Mm.
over the phone. Over smartphone, just like WeChat in China. Russia has their equivalent inside the federation. So you rarely see people ever pulling out cash, and if they do, it's very minimal. It'd be the equivalent of 20 US dollars. They don't really need to use cash anymore. They can pretty much pay for everything through their smartphone and their smartwatch and other credit card payment systems. So cryptocurrencies would be a natural evolution. They can adopt it in the same way that Mastercard and Visa has adopted it for their for their financial networks.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I did not know that. That's pretty cool. I want to say hello to Jordan Bevel, hello to Rainy Woman, and hello to Mike Rizzi. Mike Rizzi, if you want to hop on the panel with us tonight, you are more than welcome. Just let us know. Bitcoin's relationship with the U.S. government is still very unclear, claims Ikagai's Travis Kling. Due to the independence of the virtual asset class, the cryptocurrency industry has often faced criticism in the past, failing to achieve general validation from economic institutions. The scenario has changed over time, however, as Bitcoin and other crypto assets have started to be accepted across the United States and the world, despite governments not being entirely sold on the idea of digital currencies. Travis Kling, founder of Ikigai Asset Management, recently spoke about the demographic and sentiment shared by the U.S. government towards Bitcoin. In an episode of What Bitcoin Did with Peter McCormick, that's actually a podcast you can look up on YouTube and listen to. And the title is What Bitcoin Did. Kling said that it surprised him a little that the U.S. government was slowly accepting Bitcoin. However, he added that it was an unclear relationship that the government shared with the virtual asset. He said, and I quote, I think different parts of the government feel different about it. If you talk to the real significant people, and they will tell Bitcoin has been on the radar of different parts of the government from the very beginning. End quote. He suggested that it was very important to consider the Silk Road situation, which U.S. enforcement agencies dealt with in the early days of Bitcoin. The government probably never imagined Bitcoin's popularity reaching its present day levels, he claimed. Claim mentioned that he was not wary of the government trying to keep the price under control, stating that a non-physically settled future would be a really good way to manipulate the price of Bitcoin because it would eradicate the scarcity value associated with the virtual asset, which is one of the most desired and attractive traits. Additionally, Kling stated that Bitcoin, despite being a risk-laden asset, was a risky asset with a specific set of investment characteristics. He implied that Bitcoin's framework looked good and that it had become increasingly more attractive as central banks became more irresponsible with their money and fiscal policies. I'm going to reread this paragraph again. Kling mentioned that he was not wary of the government trying to keep the price under control, stating that a non physically settled future would be a really good way to manipulate the price of Bitcoin because it would eradicate the scarcity value associated with the virtual asset, which is one of the most desired and attractive traits. A few people that in the crypto sphere say that the government, excuse me, is buying up Bitcoin. Actually, a lot of governments buying up Bitcoin. The price manipulation. There's a lot of studies out there that talks about price manipulation. It all depends who you talk to, what sphere of the crypto community that you're talking to. But all that being said, Bitcoin's relationship with the U.S. is still unclear. That's pretty blatant. With new rules and regulations coming up, such as the Financial Action Task Force. I think they have that in there actually, stating that we're giving recommendations, and these recommendations are like hard recommendations, saying, "Hey, we want to know who's sending money to who, both the sender and the recipient name, and exchanges. You must hold that information." But with cryptocurrency, that type of framework is not built within the fabric of cryptocurrency, which means you will have to redo what cryptocurrency is, what a crypto blockchain is, and so forth. But you can tell that cryptos are, I want to say, not popular with older politicians, but I will admit that some older politicians do like cryptos, but the vast majority do not, compared to the younger population of the government.
I don't think it's so much the politicians, but more about policy. Um,
Mm.
a lot of the policy that is in place is in regards to fiat currency and the financial institutions that help money transactions. And with that being said, because cryptocurrencies and the blockchain works in the way that it doesn't allow for the transparency that typical fiat does allow for, and typical Swiss system would allow for. This becomes a problem. So you can't really adopt something like a crypto until it could actually pass those measures. Now, you say you would have to make a lot of changes to the crypto. I don't think you would have to make any changes, but you would have to operate from a perspective of transparency, which is what a lot of people don't want to do. They want their nominee anonymity to do business without any breadcrumbs or a lingering trail. Well, this violates a lot of the stipulations and regulations on Wall Street. This doesn't work very well. So, in terms of how it sits with the U.S. government, IRS, the U.S. Treasury, all other financial institutions and regulations, cryptos pretty much violate all of these things for the most part. So, if unless new policies go in place or there is new digital components that can be added to collect the logs of a transaction, it's going to be a hard sell. What's going on, Nagone?
Oh, how you doing, Nagone?
What's up, fellas? All
How
right,
you
I'm
doing?
just getting settled in here, man. I'll pop in here in a minute, but you guys are dead on it right now. Hang on, just give me a
All
minute.
right. I want to say hello to Ronan Black in the chat, and always, as you all come in, please don't forget to hit the like button. We appreciate that over here at the Black Brain Trust. All right, our next topic is U.S. Congress think tank claims Bitcoin is used mostly as investment vehicle. Excuse me. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are used as a speculative investment tool and not money. A report by United States think tank, the the Congressional Research Service, claimed on May 10th. As part of an investigation into cash usage in the U.S., the report dubbed the potential decline of cash usage and related implications appear to forecast a reduction in paper money as contactless card payments increase. That's actually proof to what we say on our excuse me on our Mondays hangout when we talk about cashless societies. Researchers also analyze other forms of payment, including cryptocurrency, be it public, private, or issued by a central bank. Taking Bitcoin as prime example, the CRS nonetheless draws conclusions which have become commonplace among government sources. Although price data on Bitcoin illustrates the public interest in and overall demand for this cryptocurrency, it is a poor indicator of how often it is being exchanged for goods and services, i.e., how often it is being used as money. The report reads. It continues, and I quote, certain analysts appear to show that digital currencies are not being widely used and accepted as payment for goods and services, but rather as investment vehicles, end quote. As Cointelegraph reported, analysis from software company Digital Light last month painted an entirely different picture, claiming Bitcoin was already poised to usurp both cash and card payments worldwide, as that it needed its authors as all that it needed its authors wrote is for Bitcoin's development to continue in the current vein. Oops. Oops, my bad, people. If it maintains this pace in another 10 years, it will surpass all competition, they surmised. Others remain less convinced, with entrepreneur and social gold supporter Peter Schiff extensively examining Bitcoin's future potential as money with the Bitcoin Standard author Saifedean Ammous in an online debate last week. That was on Tone Vague's channel. The day before the CRS reports publication, meanwhile, U.S. Senator Brad Sherman called on Washington to ban cryptocurrency altogether over fears it contributed to the undermining of U.S. political power. So let's work backwards here. The U.S. Senator Brad Sherman, when called on Washington to ban cryptocurrencies because he feared that it would contribute to the undermining of U.S. political powers. That's really fodder. That is a lot of fodder for people who, especially like us, who say that U.S.'s America's power comes a bulk of America's power comes from the U.S. dollar being the world reserve currency. And here you have a U.S. senator admitting that, and there's actually video of that him admitting that. So when you have a political person stating that without not only stating that, but without other political entities coming out and saying no, it's not true, then you can't really argue against that. Also, you have Peter Schiff. Peter Schiff is a big gold person. He's investing in the gold, so there's a conflict of interest there. He's downing Bitcoin. A lot of people say Bitcoin is gold 2.0 is digital gold, blah blah blah. So he sees that and he's hearing that. So he loves his gold. So there's a conflict of interest when he say Bitcoin will not be nothing in the future. There's the conflict of interest comes from that he has a bias against gold. And the scope of the full article, I actually believe this study. Um, there was it was a clickable link here. I can't find it now, but there was another article that came out. I don't know how long ago it was. It was recent, which said that 1.3% of Bitcoin's 24-hour volume is only spent on actually purchasing things, whereas the vast majority, so the 90, what's that? The 98.7% of Bitcoin's 24-hour volatility, which is in the billions, are people buying, selling, and trading it on exchanges. So, me personally, I actually believe this article.
Well, Peter Schiff, he's a goldaholic, right? I mean, he's addicted to the gold, but because he's a traditional guy, very conservative. But him saying Bitcoin won't be worth anything in the future, he might just be referring to Bitcoin as the coin itself and not the actual cryptocurrency market. That's how I interpret it.
Hmm. That's a good way. That's a way I interpret it. Jordan Bevel says Peter is only saying.
I would say be careful. Peter talks out of both sides of his mouth. So he has certain interest in seeing, because if he's got some Bitcoin that will be backed up in gold or some other currencies that these guys can get control over, he'll be talking a slightly different game. So just listen in between the lines when this guy talks. That's all I want to say.
Jordan Bevel says Peter is only staying ahead of it. And we have Worship the King. Welcome. He says, I'm in a short right now. This thing might wick more towards 11K. And I've actually heard people say it'll go to 11K, then come back down. So yeah, U.S. Congress think tank says Bitcoin is mostly used as an investment vehicle, and that's also interesting because that means people. Excuse me. What was that? People are investing in this. They're not saying Bitcoin is used for drugs or pedophilia or anything in the case. The same ad nauseum statements that you heard in the beginning years. Now they're saying as an investment vehicle. So people are really investing into this.
Well, millennials are more risky, right? They're more willing to take risks than say Gen Xers and baby boomers. So
Hmm.
they're looking at this and saying, I don't see anything wrong with cryptos. In fact, they read more about cryptos than the previous generation. So they're a little bit up on the game, and they're saying, I'll take that risk, as opposed to somebody who decides to buy lottery tickets all the time and not win.
Hmm.
They don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. I'm a millennial, and I don't see nothing wrong with this, to be honest.
And it's kind of really more not so much a millennial creation, but a lot of millennials started to really get in on this when this thing really started to open up. So not strange to them. A lot of millennials are very familiar with this. So of course they're familiar. They're going to be more comfortable and kind of not have as many issues as getting involved with it as somebody who was of a more traditional type of investor.
Hmm.
Yeah, Satoshi Nakamoto, Satoshi is supposed to be what? ADOS, right? Reparation coin.
Oh my goodness.
That's pretty funny. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Jordan Bevel says Jamie Dimon said the same thing a few times about BTC. Yeah, Jamie Dimon, I'm sure they're going to say a few things about him, but Jamie Dimon is he's every time he says something about Bitcoin last year, leading up to more recently, people said that, hey, don't believe this guy because this guy is telling you one thing, but in the background it's actually filling up his bags with BTC.
That's exactly what he's doing. He's from the big traditional investment banks. If you guys follow where I'm coming from, so like I say, I watched this guy with 3 eyes. All right, seriously.
All right. SEC FinTech Forum. Jay Clayton and Commissioner Hester Pierce says SEC needs to keep an open mind about new technologies. The world of digital assets and blockchain technology have been affected, but has been affected a lot by the decisions made by regulatory authorities, with the U.S. SEC being the main overwatch authority. During the recently conducted FinTech Forum by the SEC, many officials from the organization spoke about the effect which digital assets would have on commerce and the overall finance space. The panelists at the forum also included Jay Clayton, the chairman of SEC, who claimed that blockchain technology and the cryptocurrency industry had the promise for both efficiency and capabilities, but did not neatly fit in any spot in the commission. He admitted that the industry's regulation cut across a lot of divisions in the SEC and that many people thought it was easy what the regulatory body does. In his words, and I quote, there are many challenges in the space, excuse me, and the main way to tackle them is through engagement. We should also take into account what we have done earlier and compare that with what we are trying to achieve now. At the Commission, what drives innovation is assessing the industry and competition. End quote. Clayton was accompanied by Commissioner Hester Pierce, who admitted that though both the old and the new technologies had risks, it was still important that the community took the plunge. She stated that fintech can help in connecting entrepreneurs with people who have money staying thousands of miles away. She said, and I quote, we need to keep an open mind about fintech, which might mean that we need to reconsider technologically outdated assumptions that underlines currency laws. Fintech can mean many things to many people, and its effect on how investors communicate with each other and transfer activities are important. End quote. The SEC was also in the news recently when the Can Foundation, the Can versus the SEC Foundation, that has nothing to do with this article right now. But these two, Hester Pearson and Jay Clayton, have been on the side of blockchain and cryptocurrencies from the get-go. And also the CFTC chair, Jay Christopher Giancarlo, they have been on the side of crypto from like day one. Um, it's sad to see that Jay Christopher Giancarlo stepping down. I think next month being replaced, but they have really really voiced their opinion as a pro for the cryptocurrency industry, and to me, I really appreciate their help. How you doing, Miss Archie? How you doing, Triple X? Please hit the like button as you come in. We really do appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, SEC can't stay in a bubble. Fintech is here. It's here already, and they have to start listening to the market as the market starts to shift. Not being open to an emerging market is gonna find them playing catch up. So they have to keep pace or be ahead of the market for what it is.
Mm. Yeah,
I
yeah.
also think, that there's other ways of actually incorporating a lot of fintech technologies into common everyday American work. American life. It doesn't always have to be about investment. It could also be about, let's say, an honor roll student ends up, instead of an honor roll, you put the honor roll on the blockchain and they get rewarded in cryptos.
Mm.
To get 1,000 XRP or something like that, something to that effect. If I'm a charter school, if I'm a Montessori school or a private school or something like that, I may look at this and I may compensate my my students even more, my pupils even more. there's different ways of incorporating this type of fintech into everyday American lives.
That's a good
I
thought.
feel like I'm giving away too much. I feel like I'm giving away too much business modeling.
Yeah.
Somebody might take this to a hangout and then run away.
Oh,
If
trust
you're
me.
gonna do that, at least give us a thumbs up.
Yeah, trust me. They listen. They listen. All right. Ripple supporter Arrington impressed. Will Binance adopt X Rapid? Um, this is not saying, this article is not saying, or any rumors that have come out saying Binance will adopt X Rapid. And it's important to know they're not saying Binance will list Ripple on their platform or XRP on their platform. XRP is already on Binance's platform. What it's saying is Binance adopting the system X Rapid, the enterprise system to send money across borders. That's what this article is trying to point out. And it's more of an idea, which this is a really good idea, actually. Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao has hinted that the exchange plans to partner with Ripple and leverage its XRP solution, XRapid. This is certainly significant because Binance is the world's largest exchange by adjusted volume, moving billions in trading volumes on a daily basis. This alliance is mutually beneficial for both sides. This is because Binance is looking to improve its market share and presence. On the other hand, XRapid is a rapid transaction catalyst suitable for institutional use. The fact that Binance now has over the counter or OTC trading makes it even better. For starters, XRapid is a solution that uses XRP for liquidity in key markets. This means that banks that use XRP as a bridge currency can have faster payments and lower transaction costs. Meanwhile, Ripple is a rapid transactions platform. Oh, I see what he's saying here. Meanwhile, Ripple is a rapid transactions platform that can fundamentally transform the cross border transactions. This solution is therefore an extension of that vision. The Ripple website describes XRP as follows. The XRP website describes XRP as follows, case, and I quote, XRP is for payment providers and other financial institutions who want to minimize liquidity costs while improving their customers' experience. Because payments into emerging markets often require pre-funded local currency accounts around the world, liquidity costs are high. XRP or XRapid dramatically lowers the capital requirements for liquidity. End quote. Accordingly, this solution will give payment providers as such financial institutions low cost liquidity. This is more so for emerging markets where payment providers need pre funded local currency accounts worldwide. As such, XRapid lowers capital requirements for liquidity. So, the Binance XRapid link. Binance has not offered precise details of this partnership, and the CEO only addressed the position that the exchange intends to leverage XRapid. Zhao said, and I quote, "We're focused on launching more features right now, so we are working with a number of other partners with XRapid. With XRapid, there's nothing going on right now, but in the future, we'll definitely want to add them to as a partner. Ripple will certainly add to the list of exchange partners, with Bittrex and Bitstamp already on the list. This means that XRapid can extend its cheaper on-demand payment to more institutions. Notably, Ripple strives for regulatory compliance, meaning its international partners can move funds without necessarily having fiat reserves. The only problem thus far is the ambiguity around XRP and whether it is a security or a utility. If if the latter is true, then it's only a matter of time before payment processors like Remisa Online adopt XRapid as XRP Soar. That said, Binance will need fiat options as the exchange is only crypto to crypto at the moment. This is a change the exchange will make through Binance Jersey. Um, so let's attack this. Let me read this. There, There are a few people more upbeat about this development than Michael Arrington. He is a partner at Arrington Capital and former editor-in-chief at TechCrunch. The serial entrepreneur has created one of the largest crypto hedge funds denominated in XRP, even though Ripple is not officially involved in the fund. This is a development that certainly approve of. Arrington touts XRP as a way of effectively reduce tribalism in the crypto space. This is because cryptocurrency should not be limited to coin communities. Moreover, the extreme distrust for centralized institutions is something XRP advocates like Arrington are dismayed with. This is because of to them, crypto is above all else a technology that developers can use to improve services in all sectors. XRP is in fact doing more to bring crypto closer to people than most other cryptocurrencies could ever. So this is his tweet. Binance has its own OTC desk for larger traders, and the team there settles the trades on the Binance order book, increasing overall liquidity. We've begun using it as it's fantastic. Few people seem to know about it. As such, Arrington reacted with excitement to the news of Binance X Rapid partnership. This will improve fortunes for XRP and allow more people interested in cryptocurrency to experience the utility solution. Okay, so let's work backwards here. So he said that if Binance were to accept X Rapid, it would need fiat options as exchanges currently crypto to crypto. So that's true. X Rapid is for fiat settlement, not XRP settlement. For X Rapid, if America wants to send money to Japan, America wants to send $45 billion to Japan. And to do that, you know what? Not America, this government institution. Let's say an institution, let's say JP Morgan Chase wants to send $1 billion to a Japanese bank. In order to do that, you go through the current ways, the Nostra Vostra accounts, through other banks, the SWIFT system, so forth and so forth. With XRP, what you would do is transform the XRP into the 1 billion equivalent of XRP. Then both banks on either side would run the XRP system, software system. Then you will send that 1 billion worth of XRP to the Japanese bank. That takes all in all about 3 to 5 seconds. You would have received your money by now through in that pause. Once that Japanese bank gets that XRP, it will then automatically transfer it to the Japanese native currency. And that's how XRP works. So he's true in saying that Binance will need fiat options in order to use XRP system. He spoke about, so yeah, that's really what he's saying. Since Binance is the largest exchange per adjusted trading volume, then growing, he's saying that's growing, Binance will need to use XRP in order to send money, the XRP system in order to send money. And that's the most efficient way of sending it right now.
That seems pretty straightforward and common sense in the crypto community. I can't see why this wouldn't work. I mean, we all know that XRP is the go-to, and Ripple Labs has been praised for their contributions to the crypto market in terms of payment mechanisms and efficiency. So, Binance being the largest exchange, I don't see how this is shocking to anyone.
Right. It's pretty it's both, I want to say ingenious, but it's not, but it's common sense, to be honest. And in the crypto space, people hate XRP because they say, oh, the bankers use this. Well, they, like Michael Aronson put it in the article, they are one of the few coins that are actually providing a service. So You know, a lot of people just want to hate XRP. Me, I don't hate it. So yeah.
Because it doesn't have the same return on investment that Bitcoin does,
Hmm.
right? So okay, Bitcoin balloons up to 20,000, but XRP doesn't. Well, does that make XRP inferior? Actually, it does not. XRP has its lane, and Bitcoin has its lane.
Right.
So it's two different currencies, but for two different reasons.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I have a quick question. XRP over time, has it been more stable with respect to its movement fluctuations than, let's say, Bitcoin, or
Yes, it has.
it has, right?
Yeah.
So it's been a more stable investment.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to say hello to Willpower Mind, Andy, and CR Frank. Thank you all for tuning in. And as always, hit the like button when you come in. All right, let's get to our next article. Um, Saber. So XRP isn't intended to hit anything more than like a buck since it's a transfer. That's false. During the last bull run, XRP went up to almost $4. That's not what we're saying. People, well, there's a supply to XRP which is about 30 billion. So if you're sending like a few $1 billion a day, banks here sending a few billions of dollars a day, it would be common sense for XRP to go to higher highs, higher levels in price in order to allow banks to send like on a daily volume, like what, more than $30 billion a day. So we don't know what other systems is going to be on top of the XRP ecosystem that's going to use the XRP token. Yeah. All right. So Ripple to invest up to 50 million in MoneyGram following a new partnership. This actually hit the waves before um what's that place name? Facebook made their announcement. Major money transmission network, MoneyGram, has entered into a strategic partnership with blockchain-based payments firm Ripple, according to a press release on June 17. As part of the two-year agreement, the two firms will become partners in cross-border payments and foreign exchange settlements with digital assets. As part of the agreement, MoneyGram will be able to draw up to $50 million from Ripple in exchange for equity. MoneyGram will purportedly use Ripple's X Rapid liquidity product, which allows money to be sent in one currency, okay, and instantly settled in the destination currency. In using Ripple's XRP token for such transfers, XRapid can purportedly settle such transactions faster than the fiat currencies or other major digital assets. MoneyGram chairman and CEO Alex Holmes said, and I quote, "Through Ripple's XRapid product, we will have the ability to instantly settle funds from US dollars to destination currencies in a 24/7 basis, or on a 24/7 basis. So they'll be able to do it all day." So, let me finish reading this. Which has the potential to revolutionize our operations and dramatically streamline our global liquidity management, end quote. According to his website, MoneyGram is the second largest payment firm in the world, operating in over 200 countries. Much of MoneyGram's business is in the global remittances market, the value of which is estimated to be worth 600 billion. Side note: Ripple has over 200 partnerships, also. So I like that 200 number. In March, India's Federal Bank, or IFB, and commercial private bank partnered with Ripple to use its network for cross-border remittances. The partnership was part of an initiative to apply new technologies to IFB's remittances network. Also, having also launched two platforms in the UAE for making payments to India. Earlier this month, Ripple launched a Brazilian office with the goal of expanding across Latin America. Luis Antonio Sacco, former CEO at the Brazilian subsidiary of Global Warranty Solution, provided the warranty group will reportedly lead the new office. All right. So, um, this partnership, Ripple has actually put down 30 million. So they have $30 million of equity in um, MoneyGram. The rest, MoneyGram has two years to exercise that other $20 million equals $50 million from Ripple in exchange for equity at a price of per share $4.10. Um, this leads me to believe since MoneyGram is the second largest money transmitter, this warrants a question: what will Western Union do? They need to have a pivot. In the press release, MoneyGram actually said that this reduces the fees to send money overseas from $30, so around $30 to a few cents. That's the purpose of Ripple's X Rapid. They admitted it in the press release. Now, now what will Western Union do? Either they will maybe partner with Ripple also, do their own thing, or maybe join the Libra Association, the new federated Libra coin. So that's those some possibilities. Any comments?
It's a good time to be in cryptos.
Right. And overnight, MoneyGram's stock doubled. Like overnight, it doubled. It went from $1.80 to $3.60.
Well, everybody
Wait, say
knows.
that one more time.
I was saying MoneyGram's stock, um, it went from $1.80. Then the next day, when it opened up, when the markets opened up, it shot up over 100%.
Nice
Wow.
nice 1 day gain. More than doubling your money. That's beautiful. Yeah, but cryptos are definitely. We all know that's how things are going to be done in the future. So, is it a good investment? Yeah, I would say start to get into it. Don't put your house on it right now. That wouldn't be too smart. But a little lunch money, put it in there and play and play the long term game instead of the short term. That's how
We
I would look at it.
we are not certified financial planners. If you want a certified financial planner, go to CFP.net. We do not give out financial advice on this channel. Everything that we say is just our opinion and does not
That's an opinion. That's my opinion.
that.
Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, yeah. We have to make sure we make that clean.
Okay.
Yeah. So if it was me, it would be lunch money only. Maybe date money now. I know movies have gone up, $15 to $20. I went to the movies the other day and it was damn near $30. So
Yeah, I went to see Shaft, piece of crap. But anyway, yes, I spent some big money on that as well.
yeah, horrible.
Oh my gosh, man! Actually, man, I could have done a better one with me and my grandson running around the backyard, man, for real. I mean, it's total garbage. But anyway, yes, but play with the movie money, and all that. That's what I play with. I wouldn't bet
Did
anything big on it.
did you throw an empty beer bottle at the screen?
Man, I don't drink beer, but man, I sure would have if I had one. I would have thought, and it would have been a perfect spiral.
Yeah. Mike Rizzi in the chat has a question. Does Ripple have smart contract programmability like BTC?
No, well, BTC don't have smart contracts. That's Ethereum. They don't have smart contracts, but that's not to say they will not. At the moment, they don't. How you doing, Red Line 718? All right. Oh, I read an article. It was kind of dense for this, but you know how Ethereum has ERC20 tokens where you can have tokens on Ethereum's blockchain. Where people are thinking about applying the same concept to Bitcoin's blockchain. They'll have tokens on Bitcoin's blockchain. That would be pretty cool. All right. So Japan's crypto traders may face closer scrutiny over tax avoidance. Oh, this is going to be good. Japanese tax authorities are planning to take action on the underreporting of cryptocurrency-based profits. According to a report, the Asahi Shimbun on Wednesday, the newspaper sources have said that the newspaper sources have said that larger cryptocurrency transactions could be tracked in an effort to identify trades that are not being declared for tax purposes. The potential move has been prompted by the finding that some 50 traders and 30 firms in Japan had not declared cryptocurrency income worth over 10 billion yen or $92.3 million over the last few years, their sources said. The level of tax underreporting is likely due to high rates at which crypto earnings are taxed, classified as miscellaneous income. Crypto gains are taxed up to 55%. This is in Japan. By comparison, earnings from trading stocks are taxed at 20%. According to the report, an investigative team at the Tokyo Regional Taxation Bureau asked some cryptocurrency exchanges to submit clients' transactions data in 2018, allowing it to build a list of accounts that made sizable earnings. That, along with data collected by other regional tax offices around Japan, suggested to authorities that traders with around 7 billion yen or 9.26 million of such income had attempted to conceal it for tax purposes. As such, Asahi Shimbun says the tax authorities may file criminal complaints over tax evasion against traders who had larger incomes or employed illicit means to do so. Um, Reason I put this in is not because it's a good article. It is a good article, but also that could be coming to America also. Um, I know filing taxes for crypto is not easy, but there's ways to do it. Me personally, I use tokentax.co. They it's pretty straightforward. But you need to file them taxes, man.
Welcome to America.
Yeah. Now, Mike Rizzi, again, we extend you to come on the chat. He says he used time lock feature before. I wonder if that's but a smart contract. How would that compare to a smart contract? That's in its current iteration. That's what. And hello to XRP is only a is XRP only a transfer currency at the moment. There are XRP's investment arm. I forgot the name of the thing. They see there's a number of things. See, when you look at these blockchains, you're looking at it how they are now and not what they can be in the future. So when you read articles like not specifically this one, but other articles, yeah, tokentax.co, I believe. Let me type it in real quick because this is very important. Tokentax.co. That's how it's good. When you look at these, huh?
No, I was just gonna say that if you're on the continent and you go to and you're in Africa or something like that, you may not have to pay a token tax. So doing business over there may be beneficial for those who don't want to pay the piper, so
Mm,
to speak.
that's a good point.
But that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion, and I'm not a certified financial planner.
Right. Of course, of course. Um, what? Oh, so when you read articles from these outlets, they give you little windows into what these blockchains can be. Just like when I said about putting tokens on Bitcoin's blockchain, if you just without knowing that, if you just look at Bitcoin's blockchain, you will say whatever thoughts you may have. But there's talk about putting games on XRP's blockchain. There's talk about putting a XRP tip bot that actually already exists. We'd say Wind built one, but there's different things that you can do with these blockchains because they're open. Since they're open source, things of that nature. Only thing you need to do is build a app or a dApp that will access that coin's blockchain and allow you to do other things with that blockchain, with that currency. So don't just look at these blockchains as is. Think about what can be done with them. And when you read articles from these news outlets, you're reading what people are trying to do with these, how they're trying to expand them. Yeah. Drop what in the link. If you want to get on the chat, Jordan Bell, you have to um, give us your email and we'll send you the link. All right. So, what to expect when the IRS alters its Bitcoin tax policy? It's just a long one. Yeah, it is. I want to. Oh, this is so good. Um. Okay, I'll read the first part, but this is oh my goodness, it's so good. Okay, so coming guidance from the IRS will address long-standing questions about the tax treatment of cryptocurrencies. The tax collector has identified several specific issues it will discuss, including whether investors owe taxes on free crypto they get from a fork. The industry is also hoping to clarify on a number of other matters, including the tax implications of airdrops, staking, and crypto stored at overseas exchanges. For tax reasons, for tax seasons, cryptocurrency investors in the U.S. struggle to figure out how much they owe the government. But next April, it might be a little bit easier. Last month, the IRS would said it would soon issue new guidance on the tax treatment of crypto, something it hasn't done since the initial notice the agency issued in 2014. In its original guidance, the IRS stated that for tax purposes, virtual currency is treated as property and not as currency, but it left a number of key questions unanswered, such as how to value cryptocurrency received as income. The market has become more complicated in the intervening years with the emergence of phenomena like airdrops and forks that essentially give people free crypto, raising new questions about tax liability. In a letter last month to Representative Tom Emmer, IRS Commissioner Charles P. Rettig said the forthcoming guidance would address these issues and others. He did not say exactly what it he did not say exactly when it will come out, and neither will the IRS when contacted by CoinDesk. It's hard to predict when the IRS will publish the new guidance, but as the extended due date for individuals individual returns is October 15th, and for pass through business it is September 15th. They may shoot to have guidance out before these extended deadlines, said Kirk Phillips, a CPA. Below, we explain the major areas where the crypto community is looking for more clarity from the tax man. So, how much do you make? Okay, so in this one, they really, I want to get everything. No, I'll just say it. When you trade regular stocks and when you sell those stocks, it's assumed that you're selling the first one bought, not the last one bought, which means if you bought a share of AT&T 2 years ago and you recently bought a share of AT&T 3 months ago, when you sell some AT&T stock, they'll automatically sell the the first one bought, which was over a year ago. So then you're taxed at a different tax rate. Here, what they're saying is if you mine Bitcoin from the beginning and you bought Bitcoin a few months ago and you sell Bitcoin, there's no assumption in you selling which one. So if you mine Bitcoin when it was $1,000 and you sold it at $20,000, that tax, what you're being taxed would be great. There's no assumption. Also, they're saying that what about staking? When you stake your coins, you get free money. How are you going to treat that? How are you going to treat forks? Which means when Bitcoin forked to Bitcoin Cash, everybody that held Bitcoin got free Bitcoin Cash. How are you going to treat that? How are you going to treat airdrops when on Tron network, where you hold Tron and these other tokens that are come out on Tron network, you just get free tokens. How are you going to treat that? How are you going to treat masternodes when you have an X amount of coins locked up in order to secure the network and you get paid coins for securing the network? How are you going to treat that? So you're getting all this free stuff. So the tax implications, implementation, what am I trying to say? Implications on cryptos are not as cut and dry as traditional stocks. When you buy excuse me, AT&T, Coca-Cola, such and so forth, or even these dividend paying stocks, your dividends are paid through the exchange. The exchange has a record of how much stocks, how much share of a stock you hold. Then when AT&T pays a dividend, when Coca-Cola pays a dividend, um, the exchange, that money shows up in your exchange account, and then you take it out that account and take it to your bank account. With crypto, when you're staking coins, you're staking it on your computer and you get a windfall of new coins, fresh minted coins. You got to report that yourself. The onus is on you to report it. So they're saying how do the IRS plan to um what's the word I'm looking for? Regulate this stuff when it's not cut and dry as people may think. As people may think.
You know what's interesting is that they want you to, file your taxes as if it is a actual currency and actual money, but then they don't want to respect it as if it's an actual currency or tender, legal tender.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They would never adopt it, but they also want you to, they want you to treat it as if it is when it comes to taxes. They seem to be very polarized in their views.
Yeah. They're not giving clear regulation, but if you make them gains, you gotta let them know that hey, we want our cut. We just read the previous article, and I put these articles back to back for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
People in Japan were not telling their gains. They gain millions of dollars, but the regulation is not there.
But right, but if there was some losses, do you think they'd be coming after you then?
Mm-mm. I know I filed my taxes. I got losses. They better pay me.
Yes. Oh, you said they're about to pay you?
Well, yeah, with the token tax, I recorded my losses and I said, you know what, yeah, it's better to just get that lost money than trying to say I'm not going to pay no taxes. It's crypto, blah blah blah.
Oh, you're talking about your digital wallet.
Yeah, they allow you to so like say you got a Bitcoin wallet, they allow you to put your address, your public address in, and since it's an open blockchain, they can scrape all the information on Bitcoin's blockchain to say, hey,
Hmm.
these are your transactions, or you allow you to put your Ethereum wallet in. These are the transactions. Even if you got like a Exodus wallet, you can actually download the CSV, which is the comma style,
Yep.
comma style something, and you can download
It's
that
the
to the
format.
right format. You can download all that. Get your API keys from the exchanges. Download your transaction history, and it gives it to you in either a PDF format or a CSV format, and you can give it to your CPA, and you do it like that. Yeah. How you doing, Bullet Tone? How you doing, everyone? Please don't forget to like the show, and let's continue to rock on. Now, this is interesting right here. G20 reaffirms it will apply expected tough new Financial Action Task Force or FATF rules on crypto. Oh, this is good. This is good. The G20 group of nations has reaffirmed it will align with standards for anti-money laundering or AML and countering the funding of terrorism or CTF, set to be finalized by the Financial Action Task Force or FATF this month. Finance ministers and central bank governors from the G20 who met in that's not spelled right. Fukuoka, Japan, over the weekend made the commitment to apply the rules in a communique published on the website of the Japanese Ministry of Finance on Sunday. The FATF standards are expected to set tough operating procedures for crypto exchanges, going beyond the basic know your customer or KYC rules that most major exchanges now abide by. In addition to verifying and keeping records of their users' identities, exchanges and other service providers would have to pass customer information to each other when transferring funds, just as banks are required to do, a procedure known in the US as the travel rule, which is why when we went did that Facebook impromptu video and Facebook said, well, we're not going to have any record of who you're sending money to. We don't know. We don't want to know that person's name or who you are. I call BS on that because per these rules, they are a money service transmitter service, and per these rules, they have to follow these rules. Blockchain analysis firm Chainalysis recently argued that the expected changes as set out in a draft document in February will be unrealistic and harmful for the crypto industry. The G20, however, considers the threat from crypto assets low and recognizes their potential. The group said in the communique, and I quote, technological innovations, including those underlying crypto assets, can deliver significant benefits to the financial system and the broader economy. While crypto assets do not pose a threat to global financial stability, at this point, we remain vigilant to risks, including those related to consumer and investor protection, AML and CFT. End quote. It's also seeking possible additional measures for calling the financial act. Wait, it's also seeking possible additional measures calling for the Financial Stability Board and other standard setting standard setting bodies to monitor risks and consider work on additional multilateral responses as needed. The G20 welcomed the FSB's Directory of Crypto Asset Regulators, published in April, and its report on ongoing work, regulatory approaches, and potential gaps in crypto asset regulation. Finally, addressing the issue of hacks in the crypto space, the G20 said, and I quote, "We also continue to step up efforts to enhance cyber resilience and welcome progress on the FSB's initiative to identify effective practices for responses to and recover from cyber incidents." So they want to know, wow, in these few minutes, Bitcoin has went up like $300, but they want to know everything. They're trying to know everything, and that's what I was mentioning before. They're trying to know all this information of who you send the money to, who are you in the first place, and who you send the money to, how much, blah 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 blah. They want to know all of that. Scroll back up here. Kind of look bizarre there. See if there's any comments in the chat. I took a second job, CR Frank. I took a second job recently just to fill my crypto bags, getting prepped up this time. Oh man. I feel you right there, CR Frank. That's a lot of people are doing that. I can imagine how many people are doing that. If you want to have any questions, put it in the chat before we move on. Again, we like for you to what's word looking for? Contribute, to ask questions. Don't feel like you are not able to ask questions. And also, remember to hit the like button as you come in. We really do appreciate that. All right. Get to this next one. Excuse me. Red Lion says he's going to jump back into the game shortly. All right. Welcome. All right. So Warren Buffett will face all. Warren Buffett will face all blockchain leaders at 4.6 million crypto launch. Not launch. Little backstory on this. Tron CEO Justin, I was about to say Justin Tron, Justin's son. What was this? End of May. Every year, Warren Buffett holds a private lunch, and people can bid on that lunch through eBay. It's for a charity called Glide. No one knows who the person is that won the bid. It's always at the steakhouse in New York, and he always orders the same thing. They can bring 7 people, things of that nature. Well, Justin's son won the bid at 56 million dollar bid, and he told everybody. He said, "I am the person that won this bet. This not bet, but bid is what I'm trying to say." And the crypto community was saying, "Hey man, don't pack." He could bring 7 other people. People were saying, "Hey man, don't bring 7 people to talk about Tron." You people are saying try to convince him, but you're not going to convince this guy because he has assets that Bitcoin is going against. So it turns out that Justin Sun may bring other blockchain leaders. So Tron CEO Justin Sun will seek help from all the leaders in cryptocurrency when he has lunch with the infamous Bitcoin naysayer Warren Buffett. That's putting it lightly. Sun lunch to bridge crypto and traditional investors. Speaking to Yahoo Finance in an interview on June 11th, Sun, who paid $4.56 million in an annual charity auction to dine with Buffett, said his own project should not form the sole focus of the meeting, but it will be talked about, I guarantee. We want this launch to be a bridge between the cryptocurrency community and the traditional investor. So that's why I will bring all the leaders in the blockchain industry to have more communication, which will benefit both sides, he told the network. Sun raised eyebrows when he announced his partnership in the auction, which was held on eBay earlier this month. As Bitcoin's reported, his stance within cryptocurrency focuses heavily on publicity for the Tron platform and its associated TRX token. Sun frequently criticizing other extant networks such as altcoin leader Ethereum. Nevertheless, the event, the date of which remains unknown, I think it's July 25th, will form an increasing occasion when Buffett will be outnumbered at the negotiating table. The 88-year-old Berkshire Hathaway CEO has delivered uniquely sour verdicts on Bitcoin in recent years, variously describing it as rat poison squared, a gambling device, and not investing. His veteran partner in crime, Berkshire Vice President or Vice Chairman Charlie Munger, contributed turds and freshly harvested baby brains. What in the heck? Why? To the mixture. So, people have said, "Hey, bring Changpeng Zhao." He's the CEO of Binance. He actually came out on Twitter and said he can't make it. People are saying, "Hey, bring Andreas Antonopoulos, Caitlin Long." Andreas Antonopoulos, like the guy to go to if you have any questions. Caitlin Long is a part of the not Bitcoin, the blockchain thing out in Wyoming, the state of Wyoming. So he's going to bring leaders in the blockchain community to this. And I think that's actually a good move instead of stacking the table with people from Tron. See if any questions in the chat. Any other questions? All right. Okay. Yeah. This is. See how Frank says Tron is pushing. Sun is pushing Tron hard. That's his thing. That's his thing. I don't blame him, to tell you the truth. But you got to admit he's good at publicity. Okay. I went through this before. Yeah, we went through this before. So this is just saying that Justin Sun switched the venue for this lunch. Come on, I can delete this from New York to San Francisco. The charity foundation Glide, which is benefited, is actually based out of San Francisco, and the charity is to provide to fight poverty. So Justin Sun lives in San Francisco. People really don't know that, and he switched, and San Francisco, Silicon Valley also. So he has the leverage in the situation. So he switched the venue from Buffett's Smith and Wollensky Steakhouse in New York to a venue in San Francisco. Yeah, this is pretty. That's. I like that. That's a power move. That's a power move because everything from the Silicon Valley to where he lives, and even the very charity organization in which this lunch is helping, is based in San Francisco. So why not have it in San Francisco? That's a power move, ladies and gentlemen. That right there is a power move. All right. So we're gonna go to our next article. CR Frank says, I raised my eyebrow after that Tesla situation, but I'm holding for the time being. Yeah, that was the guy who was supposedly one that Tesla really guilt tripped it, son, into giving that Tesla. He tried to backslide and not giving a winner of a contest a Tesla, but the cryptosphere got on him, and well deservedly too. So, report: Polish exchange shuts down and disappears with customers' funds. I'm going to read this now. I'm going to share my widely opinion on this. Polish cryptocurrency coin room has reportedly shut down its operations and disappeared with customer funds. Local news outlet Money.pl reported on May 31st. Money.pl received an email from one of its readers who stated that CoinRoom, which was registered in 2016, ceased operations overnight and disappeared with customers' money in April. Some users say they had up to 60,000 zloty, or around $15,790 in their accounts. Before ceasing its operations, CoinRoom reportedly sent emails to its customers containing information about contract terminations. They spelled that. CoinRoom customers had only 1 day to withdraw their money, which was in accordance with CoinRoom regulations signed by users. However, customers reportedly claimed that some of them got only part of the money, while most of them did not receive their funds back at all. One of the exchange's customers told Money.pl that he had lost about 2.005 bitcoins, nearly $15,000 at press time. Another user stated that on the second day after sending the email, I went to the coin room headquarters. The lady at the reception did not want to let me in. She claimed that nobody was in the office. Instead, she called someone from the company. I was asked to leave my details. Nobody contacted me. Spokesman for the district prosecutor's office in Warsaw, Lukasz Lapsinski, revealed that the office had in, initiated proceedings against CoinRoom in connection with unauthorized activities providing payment services that intermediates in the exchange of cryptocurrency. The office is also reportedly identifying other possible victims. So they perform, you say, an exit scam, like a soft exit scam. I'm bringing this up because I went over an article. I read an article this week, talked about how a lot of crypto exchanges were shutting down and how the median lifespan of a crypto exchange is 15 to 18 months. I'm saying also say these lower crypto exchanges with low liquidity that doesn't have reputation, they are getting squeezed out of the market, leaving room for other businesses to take a big chunk of markets to take a big chunk of the crypto market, namely traditional firms such as the Fidelities and all that. Well, yeah, I'll say that. So for you to go to the exchange and buy and sell Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, the top cryptos, and I'm sure they'll trickle down to other cryptocurrencies as well. That's not good because then the powers that be will control the cryptocurrency market. Things like this with this exchange, this coin room, and other exchanges that had to shut down and did not perform the same scam exit that CoinRoom did. A lot of these exchanges need to survive in order to have that balance in between traditional traditional crypto exchanges and traditional um, exchanges themselves. There need to be that balance. These exchanges don't need to close. They need to actually do a better job in keeping open, in my opinion. Yeah. Oops. All right. It will take 400 days to completely rewrite Bitcoin transactions. Bitcoin security is at an all-time high, as it will take. If you all are trying to say something, I think you're all on mute. If you're all trying to say something, yeah. Bitcoin security is at an all-time high, as it will take an attacker with complete control of the network over 400 days to rewrite the blockchain, even if they have 100% control of the network's hash rate. For perspectives, a 1 hour attack will set them back almost $600,000 per hour at the time of writing. Analysis essentially calculate this number by taking cumulative chain work and dividing it by the hash rate at that time. According to an attacker, Accordingly, an attacker has to mine a different chain. They can then publish the blocks as soon as the chain has greater proof of work than the main network. A prospective attacker would therefore spend over a year and hundreds of millions, if not billions, to attack the Bitcoin network. After all this work and resources, the price of Bitcoin could still come crashing down. This means this means that from an economic standpoint, an attack on Bitcoin makes no sense. What does hash rate mean? I'm glad you asked. Hash rate essentially connotes the frequency that a computer system can guess a string of letters, which makes ASIC miners so good. They're good at that one thing. This is wait no. They're good at guessing the nonce. Okay, hash of letters. This is what is called a hash. Yeah. A cryptographic hash allows a computer to add a block of transactions to the blockchain. Notably, individual mining units have their own hash rate. Accordingly, the hash rate of a device is better than its performance. This is why it is no longer profitable to mine Bitcoin using your ordinary PC. At the moment, the combined network hash rate makes it difficult to attack the network. This difficulty is certainly higher than it has ever been. The current hash rate, therefore, means that the potential risk vector is at its most expensive in history. The level of difficulty, wish it was this long because I don't want to confuse people. Currently, the average hash rate for Bitcoin puts it at the most secure in its relatively short history. As such, an attacker who begins today will need about 400 days to complete more proof of work to than the entire blockchain. This is, of course, with the assumption that a user has 100% of the hash rate. It goes without saying that this is virtually impossible. This scenario is so if they need 400 days, 100%, they need over 2 years with 51%. Just guessing there. The scenario is borderline impossible for a private individual or institution. This will essentially be only be possible if you have a scenario where state resources are in play. A great example would be a scenario where the Chinese government seizes all mining farms in China. As such, the estimate of 400 days is the minimum. No one else should mine Bitcoin in the next 400 days for this to be possible. Moreover, all the hash power goes into building a new blockchain with the same Genesis block. Only in that scenario would all the nodes switch to the new chain as the longest chain. This would mean that the current longest chain is left orphaned. For the aforementioned, the Bitcoin network is still remarkably secure. The fact that it takes this much time and resource to successfully attack the network defeats the purpose. Moreover, even if you attack the network, it is no guarantee of either stability or profitability. Therefore, we can be sure to have Bitcoin at least for the next 400 days. This is because the network is historically secure. The future of the decentralized network has never looked more secure. It is upon users and enthusiasts to ensure it gets better in the upcoming years. Okay, so let's break this down. The more people that has a full copy of Bitcoin Ledger mean more secure the network is. Why is that? Well, if you're trying to take over Bitcoin's blockchain, you have to convince at least 51% of all the people that hold an up-to-date copy of Bitcoin's ledger that the Bitcoin blockchain that you're trying to introduce is the correct blockchain, which means you have to convince them that the order in the blockchain that they have is incorrect and yours is correct. That takes a lot of work because people are trying to win those right now. It's 12 Bitcoins to add a new block to Bitcoin's blockchain, and everybody's competing. Everybody's competing to get those 12 Bitcoins. And here you go. You need to have computers more powerful than them, which means you need to have a lot of computers to continuously mine Bitcoin's blockchain in order to win the possibility of adding the next block to Bitcoin's blockchain, and you actually continuing that, and you actually at the same time convincing people that your blockchain is the new blockchain. So it takes resources, it takes money, and the article says that who's to say that even if you do all that, Bitcoin will still be profitable.
Yeah, can you explain the 51% attack on Ethereum?
Oh, Ethereum Classic. Yeah. So Ethereum Classic is the same thing, proof of work algorithm. A person gained 51, at least 51% of the hash rate, meaning the okay, I'll say this. When you when people are on a blockchain trying to mine blocks, which means information that are put in the blocks, and the algorithm of that blockchain say, okay, you have to guess a nonce. In this case, a numbered nonce. A nonce is a one-time use thing. In this case, it's a number. You have to either guess it or guess close to it. This arbitrary number for you to win the privilege to add your block, which is a block is full of information, or full of cryptographic information to the Ethereum Classic blockchain. Well, a person, in order to guess that number, you have to create hashes to, golly, look at Bitcoin price, to guess that number. Well, a person gained 51% of the hash rate, meaning of all the hashes that's going on per second per minute, so on and so forth, 51% of that came from one person. Since you gain 51%, you increase your chances of winning the chance to put a new block on Ethereum Classic's blockchain. So once he did that, and he did that over and over again, he got control of Ethereum Classic's blockchain, which means he was the only person that was allowed to put his information, his specific information, and he can say, well, I don't accept your transaction, Mike fee. Get that out of here. I'm going to null and void your coins. That's the significance of it. He gained 51% of the hash rate of Ethereum Classic blockchain, and that's not good. So, wow, that's many people in the chat today. Okay. BitMEX observes increase in attacks on accounts, stresses security measures. So, peer-to-peer cryptocurrency exchange BitMEX has reported an influx of attacks on user account credentials, according to an official blog post on June 11th. In addition to covering its litany of best practices for user security, the cryptocurrency exchange stressed the importance of user two-factor authentication, or 2FA, in particular. The report summarizes 2FA as follows. Quote, 2FA, sometimes referred to as two-step verification or multi-factor authentication, adds an additional layer of security to your account by requiring not only your username and password at login, but also the input of a unique time-based token. Tokens can be stored on a cell phone within a software-based authenticator app, such as Google Authenticator or Authy. End quote. According to BitMEX, research at Google has shown that virtually all attempts to steal account credentials can be prevented by enabling 2FA. BitMEX concurred that 2FA is the best way to prevent such attacks and is considering making 2FA authentication mandatory on its platform. BitMEX, BitMEX is the one that's owned by Charles. Oh, I forgot his name. It's the black man. I forgot his name. Oh my goodness, I forgot his name. It'll come back. BitMEX also
He's from
noted.
Fox News, right?
Yeah, it's the what's his name? It's gonna come to me. I want to say Charles. It's gonna come to me. BitMEX also noted that compromised accounts on the exchange are typically associated with weak or reused passwords. Author, okay, it's coming to me. Hacked emails or computer infected with malware. Additionally, the exchange discovered some new tactics being deployed in these account hacks and have updated its policies accordingly. First, there is no longer an option to disable email notifications about account logins, since hackers were disabling these notifications in order to further hide their tracks. Second, withdrawal requests must now be verified by email, since attackers were making API keys with the hacked accounts, which could be used on their own to authenticate withdrawals. As previously reported by Cointelegraph, US-based crypto exchange Kraken made 2FA mandatory for its platform at the end of March. According to Kraken announcement, 2FA has been optional on the platform since its inception in 2013. The exchange particularly supports 2FA programs, Google Authenticator, and YubiKey, as per the announcement. So, um, actually, everything in this article you've said before, Mike, about security.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting that you bring that up because I'm going to share my screen real quick.
Let me,
This just came out this morning.
mhm.
This article just came out this morning from Bleeping Computer and DHS. Firefox 0-day used in target attacks against cryptocurrency firms. The employees of Coinbase and other cryptocurrency firms were the target of an attack utilizing recent Firefox 0-day and malware payloads in order to gain access to victims' computers, networks, and sensitive information. This past week, Mozilla released an emergency Firefox update to fix a critical remote execution vulnerability that was actively used in targeted attacks in the wild. This bug was given a CVE, which is a vulnerability ID of CVE 2019-11707, and was stated to have been reported by both Google Project Zero vulnerability researcher Samuel Grobe and Coinbase Security. So, if you have Firefox on your machine and you use that for any sort of financial transactions with cryptos or managing digital wallets, you should update your Firefox right now. Don't wait to the end of the hangout. Update it right now. Same thing with Chrome. There's a release for Chrome that came out earlier as well, because Chrome would be affected by this as well. So make sure you update your Chrome. Make sure you update your Firefox.
Thank you. I'm gonna do that. 193. Yeah. Yeah, and his name is Arthur Hayes. That's his name. I'm glad his name came to my mind.
Oh, that
Maybe. All right, we are almost done with this great hangout. All right, I'm gonna combine these two together because I want to make a point. Major Pan-African insurance firm rolls back insurance for crypto mining equipment. Pan-African insurance company Old Mutual has opted out of issuing cryptocurrency mining equipment due to the absence of regulation in the industry. Local technology-focused news outlet ItWeb reported on June 10th. Following comprehensive research of the industry, Old Mutual has arrived at a decision not to insure equipment used for digital currency mining because of the unregulated nature of the industry. Among other reasons, the company also named cryptocurrency exposure to fraudulent activity and modified electronic infrastructure for mining equipment that leads to overheating and other malfunctions. Christelle Coleman, an insurance expert at Old Mutual, said that we have chosen not to provide cover for this type of risk as it is quite tricky to conduct a proper risk analysis for an unregulated fledgling industry that is already on the radar of financial authorities due to the unfortunate association with money laundering and cybercrime, Coleman added. Quoted, and I quote, it is also a highly volatile industry that attracts a lot of speculators, so there is no proper risk rating structure in the local market for this type of risk. Even doing a comprehensive inventory of the uninsured equipment is highly difficult because the value of the equipment modified computer the value of the highly modified computer equipment is typically inflated and almost impossible to verify as it is usually imported from obscure suppliers in the Far East. End quote. Old Mutual released an annual savings and investment monitor survey for South Africa last July, which polled respondents on awareness of and attitude toward cryptocurrencies in the country. The study showed that respondents generally had a positive regard for digital currencies, with 38% of respondents agreeing with the statement, I wish I had invested in crypto before, and 71% agreeing that you can make a lot of money with them. That really, this don't really have them. Cointelegraph does that a lot. Uh, they add things at the end that really don't have nothing to do with the main article. But so a Pan-African insurance company don't want to insure crypto mining equipment, which leads me to believe what else they don't want to insure pertaining to cryptos. Now I'm going to compare that article with this. Major insurance broker Aon secures crime coverage for crypto custody solutions. Even though this is a custody solution coverage and not crypto mining, I'm still going to compare them. Aon, a leading insurance broker with that purports to occupy 50% of the crypto insurance market, will reportedly provide crypto custody solutions provider Mataco with crime insurance coverage via a panel of London insurers. The news was revealed in a Mataco press release published by fintech news outlet Finextra on June 11th. So Aon provides insurance to 50% of that crypto insurance market, and they're providing insurance to wait, we're, so wait. They're providing crypto custody solutions insurance to Mataco. So Aon is a custody bank and they're providing custody solutions. And this article, crime custody to Mataco. Crime insurance. Okay. Lausanne-based Mataco is part owned by Swiss telecoms giants Swisscom, the country's national postal service, Swiss Post, and banking technology vendor Avaloq. The insurance, excuse me, the insurers, none of whose names have been disclosed, will reportedly provide the crime insurance. Will while come on, when I leave on, will reportedly provide the crime insurance coverage for institutions using Mataco's Silo crypto asset infrastructure solution for hot and cold storage, which implements hardware security module-based technology. While the fiat currency value of the coverage has similarly been kept under wraps, Aon has revealed that the policies provided will cover a wide gamut of risks, including private key destruction due to natural disasters and losses incurred by third-party hacks of hot wallets. Um, yeah, this don't got nothing to do with this. So this is my problem. Well, this is the issue. Even though they're saying they're not gonna cover crypto mining, they're saying that they're going to cover losses pertaining to crypto losses for private keys. I feel that this insurance broker is what's the word I'm looking for? Is progressive thinking. They're thinking about the future, whereas a Pan African Old Mutual, I understand their role with crypto mining. That can be understandable, but the excuses they're giving are boilerplate. We hear the anti-money laundering, the CTF countering financial terrorism crap, know your customer crap. Come on now. This is something that is going to be groundbreaking. You're seeing this groundbreaking right now. You're seeing Facebook saying they're coming out with a quote unquote crypto. You see Ripple partnering with buying staking institutions. This is not something that's, oh, it's volatile. Yes, it's volatile, but I just don't want black people to say, hey, this is something that's black people don't do, and you get left out. I can understand their stance on the mining rigs, but the industry itself, I hope that they are able to provide a custody solution for black people in crypto and not just follow the other people that says, oh, this is volatile, because we all know that people can say one thing, but behind the scenes they're doing something else. And you're following what they're saying, okay, we're going to follow them what they're saying. They know better than us because we know what they can lead to, such as Jamie Dimon and even Fidelity. They'll tell you one thing, but behind the scenes they're doing something else. So when I saw this, I was kind of irritated. I just feel like I want to call them and ask them, do they have any custody solutions for cryptocurrency? Any other questions on this one? All right. Former Wall Street exec Tone Vays, there is no evidence that the crypto winter is now over. Former Wall Street executive and current blockchain researcher Tone Vays, and by the way, he has his own YouTube channel, name is Tone Vays, has expressed skepticism about the fact that crypto winter is over. Vays made his comments in an interview with Cointelegraph on June 10th. Vays, a former financial analyst at U.S. banking giant J.P. Morgan, revealed that he does not trust the recent rally in the crypto markets, claiming that he has not been observed he has not observed too much external money coming into the space. The blockchain consultant argued that the recent reverse of a long lasting bear market was supported by internal capital, stating that there is evidence of enough accumulation by those who prefer to hold their crypto instead of selling it. According to Vase, if that internal capital gets scared, crypto prices would drop as fast as they rose. Now, I'm saying all this is because even though, as we see, that crypto or Bitcoin is on a rise, it's up 4.02%. I've been hearing a lot of analysts, including Tone Vase, that say it can pop at 11 and just do a reversal. Again, we are not, excuse me, we're not financial analysts. Please go to CFP.net. But I'm just stating what these people are saying, Tone Vase and other analysts. I thought it was interesting because a lot of people don't like Tone Vase, even though he's pro bit. Even though he's pro Bitcoin, in the short term, he's not pro Bitcoin. He's bearish, but he's pro bit. He's a Bitcoin maximalist, most definitely. That's all he talk about, Bitcoin. But right now, he's saying don't believe the pump, and a lot of people don't like him because he tells the truth. All right. Any comments on that one? All right. Next,
What's
go
his
ahead.
name? What?
Tone Vase, Tonevas.
Oh, I thought you said Tone
Tone
Talks.
Low. Oh, Tone. Oh no. Oh, no, that guy don't like Bitcoin. I don't think he likes Bitcoin. Him and the female. Yeah, I don't think they like Bitcoin.
Yeah, well, they because they can't be paid in reparations for it. So
Oh, that's why. All right. Local Bitcoins confirms removal of local cash trades. Local Bitcoins has really disappointed a lot of people. Global peer-to-peer cryptocurrency exchange Local Bitcoins has officially confirmed the removal of trading in local fiat currencies. The firm announced in a tweet on June 4th. As previously reported, the Finland based exchange silently removed cash trading on June 1st, which immediately caused some outrage in crypto community. In the official statement, Local Bitcoins noted that its liabilities are determined by the Act on Detecting and Preventing Money Laundering and Terrorist Financing, which requires the exchange to follow certain sanctions. Local Bitcoins wrote, and I quote, in order to adapt to the current regulatory environment, we had to reconsider our policy on local cash trades as well as an geographical area where our services is available, among other platform features. As a consequence, advertisements in the cash category, i.e., local cash trades, were disabled in our platform on Saturday, June 1st. This is even after where they prevented people in Iran from accessing their platform also. The move comes on the hands of the news that local bitcoins will soon become monitored by the Financial Supervisory Authority of Finland as the Finnish government passed new legislation for crypto assets earlier this year. In late May, local bitcoins banned Iranian users from using its platform, a move purportedly promoted by the rules of the European Union. Yeah. Um, Local Bitcoins has really changed its stance. You can go on local Bitcoins and get Bitcoins for cash. That was peer to peer, boy. You can meet up, albeit it was a lot of bad things that was going on, people getting jacked, but it was there. You had the opportunity. Now they have know your customer rules, KYC rules. They're banning you from different countries from doing business on their platform. So, but they have to acquiesce to the rules, though. They have to. All right, now this right here. India is the Thanos of cryptocurrency. They are not allowing anything in their country or any cryptos in their country. They're saying no at the door. Do not come around here. You do come around here, you get shot. That's India. Indian lawmakers propose adoption of 10-year jail term for crypto dealings. Stop it. Stop it. Indian lawmakers have reportedly proposed to enforce a 10-year jail term for citizens who deal with cryptocurrencies. Local financial news agency Bloomberg Quint reports on June 6th. The new tough crypto regulation is a part of a recently proposed draft bill called Banning Cryptocurrencies and Regulation of Official Digital Currency Bill 2019, according to a report by crypto news outlet The Block. The regulation will reportedly relate to those who mine, hold, buy, and sell cryptocurrencies, as well as those who deal with cryptocurrencies directly or indirectly in the country. If passed, India's bill would order cryptocurrency holders to declare their crypto assets within 90 days and to dispose the assets. They're forcing people to sell these things in accordance with the prescription of central government. The report notes, I bet you people there in central government that have these cryptocurrencies. I bet you there's somebody in political office that have cryptocurrencies. I, I
Why?
bet
What's their reason for being so draconian?
they can't control it.
Yeah, it's not in their sphere of influence.
Mm.
But remember, we covered an article probably about 9 months ago where they made an announcement that any politician who is holding cryptos has X amount of days to actually submit or surrender their cryptos. So we know several politicians had to come forward and say, "Oh yeah, I'm hodling."
Mhm.
And if they didn't disclose, then that mean they would go to jail or something.
Well, for India, if the law is passed, then yeah.
Well, they're a lot more they're a lot more critical of their people over there than they are in the United States. But we know in the United States, because we covered this probably about 7 to 8 months ago. There were politicians who
Mhm.
had mining rigs, they had mining farms, and when Bitcoin dropped from 20,000 down to like way below, had that significant drop. Those politicians were SOL. So they were
Yep.
auctioning off their machines on eBay and Craigslist and whatnot, trying to make their money back.
Yeah. All right. Study over 74% of Bitcoin mining is powered by renewable energy. Excuse me, right there. All right. Cryptocurrency investment products and research firm CoinShares estimates that 74.1% of Bitcoin mining is powered by renewable energy in its biannual mining report published on June 5th. The report also claims that at current prices, the average miner is highly profitable, with even older gear and high cost producers currently able to make positive ROI. The paper also notes that Bitcoin mining operations are concentrated where there is ample renewable energy supply. Still, the report also notes, and I quote, the renewables estimate is down from 77.8% in our November 2018 report and reflects increased visibility of the industry on our part as well as movements within the industry. End quote. The correlation between Bitcoin mining and renewable energy reports makes Bitcoin mining more renewables driven than almost every other large scale industry in the world. The report also notes that since November last year, the total hash rate of the network increased from 40 quintillion hashes per second to 50 quintillion hashes per second. This means that during this period, the growth of the computing power invested in maintaining the network was slower than its 10-year average, but in line with the 5-year average. The report also points out that the temporary decrease in hash rate of about 40% registered at the end of the year was the first registered instance in which there has been a major and prolonged decrease in the network's computing power. Um, there's a lot of reports that says that mining Bitcoin hurts is done through coal, fossil fuels, but a few times these reports have come out that said that Bitcoin mining is actually green. Even last year, we hear reports of companies who mine Bitcoin going to places that have waterfalls, that have what's the stuff that come out the earth, the reservoirs, the heat reservoirs in sunny
Oh, you mean a
areas.
geyser?
Yeah, not the geyser, but the why am I losing my words tonight? The thermal, the thermal, such and such. They use those to as energy for like for steam to turn the turbines and everything.
That's
Um,
that's rare though, right?
yeah, but they
When you think about some of these some of these unconventional rigs, people turning their shelf racks into data center racks and having these open computing platforms to mine. Those places turn your house into a sauna.
mm,
I don't think that's very energy efficient at all.
well, they're saying from the article, well, from the report, they're saying the bigger institutions who hold much more the hash rate. When you're in a small, when you're a guppy in this world of mining, you would normally go to a mining pool.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Right.
Because yeah, people if they have a rooftop, they can actually throw those solar panels up there. Yeah, that does make sense because in the long term, it's reducing their utility costs. But um, yeah, yeah. I mean, we've read articles about people trying to tap um, abandoned infrastructure or stores and stuff like that. Run the power out of there and run their rigs that way.
Yeah. So when a lot of people say, "Oh, it's just harming the environment," the bigger companies are near renewable energy sources. Yes, now other people, the individuals, yeah, they don't have the money to do all that, so they're going to run it off the whatever electricity they're getting, and they're part of the minority, the other 25% that's not run off in renewable energies. All right, so our last article, Coinbase adds DAI as first stablecoin in crypto exchanges earn program. So Coinbase is, I don't want to, I thought about playing a video, but nah, that's not a good idea. Coinbase is adding the Ethereum stablecoin DAI to its earn program. It's the second addition to the crypto unicorns education initiative this month, following the announcement of EOS support on June 1st. Earn allows Coinbase users to receive crypto in exchange for watching videos and completing quizzes about various products. DAI becomes the first stablecoin to be added to Coinbase Earn, which already boosts EOS, Stellar, Zcash, BAT, basic attention token, and 0x. Coinbase strives to be okay. Coinbase strives to be a trusted source where customers can educate themselves about new developments in crypto, and we're excited to offer people a new opportunity to learn about and earn DAI, the company wrote in a Medium post Monday. Coinbase says it plans to pay out more than 100 million worth of crypto through its Earn initiative. Coinbase users can receive up to $6 in DAI or $2 each lesson. after losing its dollar. Okay, that had nothing to do with the article. So Coinbase earn. If you go to coinbase.com/earn, see, it should just pop up here. Coinbase. Yep, there we go. And you can look at DAI. So there's 3 courses to this actually, and lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, and each course you can earn $2 worth of DAI. It's always pegged to the stablecoin. These are 2-minute videos, and so 246 and below, under 10 minutes, you will earn $6. Uh, this is pretty cool. With let's see here, come on, cursor. When you go back, you get $10 worth of EOS. Well, let's click on the start course of EOS. They have 4 lessons. 1, 2, 3, 4 lessons. You get $10 worth of EOS, so that equates to 1.2 EOS maybe. Then you also have Lumen, Zcash, basic attention token, and 0x. Let's go to Zcash for another example. This is a privacy token, so it is 3 lessons, 2-minute videos. What is Zcash? Zcash and financial privacy. How does Zcash privacy work? So this is a way to earn free crypto and learn at the same time. I'm always point this out to people if they want to know about crypto, even though it's not Bitcoin or Ethereum, but it's a good gateway into learning those to cryptos. So yeah, covered all
Well,
that.
I saw you looking through your browser. I'm not sure if you're using Chrome or not, but Chrome has an extension for Coinbase,
Hmm,
and Coin Market Cap. So you can just,
that's pretty cool.
yeah,
That's pretty cool.
you can add that to your Chrome browser, and it should pop up with a little icon, and it'll feed that data to you as it comes.
Hmm. See how Frank says near 100 in free cryptos. Take action. Yeah, yeah, and that's pretty cool. That live update of what the market is doing. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like that.
Hmm.
Yeah. How you doing, Maddox Christian? How you doing? Yeah, I wanted people to ask questions, but I hope they just like the light. I hope they just like the stream. Nobody didn't want to come on tonight or ask questions. I always make sure I say that. I don't want people to feel that they're not invited onto the show or ask questions. So it looks like 35 people like the video, 18 people watching right now. Um, really appreciate that. I hope you all um, like the stream. As always, I will leave the articles and links to the articles down in the description, and I'll leave a pinned comment, timestamps to you to jump to whatever article you want to listen to. So, any other questions, comments, anything? Last thoughts. Last thoughts.
My last thoughts is make sure you update your browsers. As we discussed earlier, there is a mass critical update that has been released this morning about Firefox and Chrome. If you're using Firefox or Chrome, there is a remote execution vulnerability found in the browsers that could compromise your cryptos if you're doing business at an exchange. So this is very important. I would update right now. I've updated both my browsers during this hangout. So
Yeah, I'm gonna.
So somebody can just come right in and enter in through your browser.
remote execution. So
Wow, that's and get to your cryptos. That means they could. It's about theft now. Is that what we're talking about?
oh yeah,
Potentially.
Yeah, if you're a bad guy in, let's say, Beijing or Shanghai, where the government does not play well with Western powers, they can get you for all your tokens and all your crypto. So and there's no way for you to get
Get
retribution for
reimbursed.
it. So
Yeah.
there's no FDIC in that transaction.
No FDIC. So you're naked and uncovered. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your SHIT if anything.
Sugar honey iced tea.
Mm.
And that goes to Brave browser too, because Brave browser operates on a Chrome open source. So
Yeah, you ain't too brave when you got them vulnerabilities in there. So
right. So please update your browser, people, and don't forget, tomorrow we have our economic show. Don't forget to tune out. Tune in. It's always popular. And please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Like the video, leave a comment, share it when you at will. And with all that said, thank you all for coming out and tuning in. And we will check you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace.